Hey guys, how's it going? It's Radar here. I want to talk today about my first impressions of the Quilboar meta. Quilboars were a new tribe released to Battlegrounds, and let's just get it over with. They are too strong. They are just dominating the meta right now, and the best way I can demonstrate that is the Test Greymane hero is right now on the upper end of tier 2 among, like Rafam, Millhouse, Jandis, and then you got Tess, who was tier 3 before. And why is Tess so good, you might ask? Well, because Tess can consistently buy the best units in the game. Quilboars. Everyone wants to buy them. Tess hero powers for 1 gold, and she gets a bunch of broken units. Absolutely not how the game should function. So why are the cards broken, and what cards should you be looking out for? Well, the main problem to me is the kind of middle tier Quilboars. So excuse me, early game, Razorfen Geomancer, the Sunbacon Relaxer, they're fine. I don't really think they need to be changed. I don't think they're auto picks necessarily. Pretty solid units, whatever. The problems lie mainly with a couple key areas. Really good stats early game, and then natural scaling that allows you to spend gold leveling rather than getting stats because you already have units that grow kind of naturally. I like to compare a lot of these units to units like Hangry Dragon and Gold Grubber, where Gold Grubber gets natural buffs. It starts at a 2/2, but if you have even one golden unit, you get +2/+2 every turn, which again is like a battle cry, right? Like if you think about, say, a 3-drop like the Mech, Screwjay and Clanker, that's +2/+2 every turn. You have to spend 3 gold to get it, right? But if you have a Gold Grubber, you get the scaling naturally. Well, the problem lies in the middle tier Quilboars have that scaling kind of on their own. So if you look at Roadboar, it's a 2/4. It's almost guaranteed to get Frenzy, which is when you get, if you survive damage without dying, you get a Blood Gem. Blood Gem's +1/+1. So this is kind of a unit. A way to look at it is it's a 2-drop. It's a 2/4 that gains +1/+1 every turn. So yeah, it's not a Gold Grubber where the scaling can kind of ramp up, but you get it on as early as turn 3, and then it just keeps scaling as long as you continue to buff this in most circumstances. Not every circumstance, but in most. And that can be very, very powerful. Just natural scaling. Again, like I said, you don't need to invest gold in it. Once you've bought it, as long as it survives that first hit, which you can also kind of set up by positioning and stuff, this is guaranteed to activate. Then you got Tough Tusk. It's a 2-mana 4/3, but if you give a Blood Gem to it, it becomes a 2-mana 5/4 with Divine Shield, which would already be a very amazing 3-drop, and it's a 2-drop. Then you get this Banner Boar card. If you can grab Banner Boar and put it on these two things, it just ramps up the scaling even more. This is +1/+1 on 2 Quilboars, which in this case is going to be +1 and Divine Shield if you got a Tough Tusk, or, Cement Road Boar to continue its scaling, or if you have Bristleback, it's +4/+4. So again, like a good turn for a Gold Grubber would be like, oh, you have 2 golden minions, so it's getting +4/+4 every turn. Pretty quickly, it's like a 12/12, a 16/16. Well, all you need for this is a Bristleback and a Banner Boar, and you have basically the same thing. Like, you don't even need golden minions, let alone if these minions get golden. And then, like I said, because you have that scaling, you don't need to worry about buying the early battle cries to buff things up. You don't need to worry about kind of finding kind of synergies. You can just start leveling because you have the scaling already. Even if you don't spend any gold, you're going to get stats. And so you just go up to tier 4 or tier 5, etc., and you just kind of keep high rolling, keep ramping it up, and the other compositions just can't keep up with this. I think this becomes even more of a problem. Thorncaller, also a good card, just again keeps the snowballing going. You get a Blood Gem every turn. But then it becomes an even bigger problem when you start to get stuff like Bonker, which again, go back to this Gold Grubber concept. Gold Grubber, 4-star 2/2, gets +2/+2 every turn in certain situations. This is a 4-star 4/7 with Wind Fury that as long as it attacks twice, and again, if you can get it early, it almost certainly will, it'll get Blood Gems. And then you can just, again, activate the Blood Gems on it to keep this scaling going, keep it being one of your main driving forces. And now you're getting +2/+2 turn on this unit alongside all the other units that get stats every turn. Again, your gold gets you scaling for way cheaper. And it all comes down to probably the most broken card of all, in my opinion, Dynamic Duo. So 4-star 5/6 taunt. Not a bad stat line on its own, for the record. You could think of a 4-star. There's lots of 5/5 4-stars, right? That have like good abilities. This is a 5/6 with taunt. Not too bad. But where this gets insane is because this gets +1/+1 for other Quilboars, if you already have a Quilboar package going, or even if you don't, say you have Banner Boar and 2 Quilboars of any kind, that's +2/+2 on the Quilboars, and then an additional +2/+2 on Dynamic Duo. So once again, this like gold grubber effect where why have a 2/2 when you could have a 5/6 that gains +2/+2 and you only need a 2-card combo. It gets even worse if you have some of the synergies going where then this is getting +4/+4, the other guy's getting Divine Shield, the other guy's getting, the +2/+2, and then you maybe have these units also with a bonker, and you're getting like it just starts to get crazy out of control. And again, like I said, I know I'm repeating myself a bit here, but if you have this package set up, smash that level button, you get to something like a Charlga, either through a triple or just naturally, and that just snowballs out of control even more. But like I said already, I don't think the problem's in the higher tier units or the lower tier units. Is Charlga a really good unit when you have a bunch of Quilboars? Yes. Is it a good unit when you don't have a bunch of Quilboars? Also yes. But it's still only +1/+1 on the board every turn, which is great. But again, like Caligos is like that too. For every Battlecry you play, you get +1/+1. If you have a board full of dragons, you get +3/+3 as long as you grab 3 Battlecries. So I don't think this is the problem. It's just the fact that you can get to it so quickly, and the fact that it has such strong synergies. Like again, if you have Charlga and you have 6 other Quilboars, or sorry, if you have other Quilboars and you have the Dynamic Duo, you get +7/+7 and then +6/+6 on your Dynamic Duo, alongside any other buffs, by the way. So it really comes down to this middle area. I think Captain Flaktusk, also not a problem. Like you get a Blood Gem for 3 gold, cool. It's a 6-drop. 6 drops are good. It's an economy card. I think it's definitely a solid thing to pick up. And it's like it's a win condition. It's really good, but it's not like, man, this thing is just absurdly broken. It feels fair. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't felt like that's the problem. Same thing with like Agam, Thorncurse, and Bristleback. All of these things, they just don't feel as much of a problem, and they're not the reason why the meta has sped up so quickly. The meta sped up. People are leveling really aggressive, trying to high roll because of these cards. So how would I nerf them? I think I'd make what's it called? Road Boar probably a 2/3, make the Frenzy less likely to activate. Already, that would be a good start. Or you could make it a 3-drop. Both would be decent. 3-drop would make it maybe unplayable. I think Tough Tusk, you just gotta lower the stat line. It's just too strong to get Divine Shield as is. You just can't do that as it is right now. This could also be a 3-drop, I would say. Banner Boar, tier 4 unit maybe, or keep it as it is. I think you don't need to hit every single minion. Like I don't think you need to hit Bristleback if you're hitting Banner Boar, because Bristleback is only consistent with the Banner Boar. I don't think you need to hit like both of these, because again, the Tough Tusk, if you don't have the Blood Gem generation, from Road Boar, it's not as much of a problem. Like this is kind of what I'm trying to get at. I think probably, like I said, the biggest target I'd want to see get hit is Dynamic Duo. I think this should just have much lower base stats. I think picking up a taunt that's already pretty good that becomes insane with any synergies is just too much. And I think that would help a lot. Even stuff like Ground Shaker is surprisingly good, but it's not broken. I think this is just a consistent card. So that's the Quilboar problem. I think it needs to be addressed. Worth mentioning, of course, we did get some new heroes. I thought I'd give my impressions now that I've actually had a chance to play them. I have played all of them except for where are they? Where are the new heroes? I haven't played Zarella. I actually still think she's pretty good. I don't think she's like broken, but I think being able to choose a minion for 2 gold does start to add up, but I don't think it's like enough to just kind of carry you. If we look at the stats right now, she's kind of a middle of the pack hero. What I actually think is a lot stronger, even though it's performing worse, is Vol'jin. Vol'jin has a lot of power early on. You just need to be smart about how you're using it. So for example, a really common interaction I see a lot is if you have Vol'jin and you have a Micro Machine, you can take the Micro Machine, swap its stats with a 2/3. Suddenly you have a 2/3 that becomes a 3/3, a 4/3. And then eventually, as this starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger, then you can swap its stats over to like a Hydra or something, or even just a Divine Shield minion. So Vol'jin is very good, but you have to play him well, and that can be very tricky. Beyond that, I think the other hero that's particularly popular, but I don't actually think is that good, is Death Speaker Blackhorn. This gets the Blood Gems. Blood Gems, we know, are pretty powerful. We see it's doing quite well. I think this is largely because of Quilboars being powerful and the Blood Gem synergies being a bit too good. I don't think this hero is that special once that gets nerfed. So my advice would be watch some pro streamers playing Vol'jin to get an idea of how to kind of abuse it. I do think it's better than a tier 3. And the other guys I think are fine. So yeah, Quilboars needs to get nerfed. Other tribes can't compete. I hope you liked the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. I will be streaming pretty much every day on twitch.tv/RadarSSBM, so check that out. Bye for now.